above the rugged cliffs of China's remote mountains, mysterious coffins hang dangerously on sheer rock faces, holding within them the secrets of a forgotten tribe. At first glance, this strange sight appears like a graveyard, but not one built on the ground. Instead, it is a graveyard created vertically on cliffs, raising the haunting question, why were the dead placed in such an unusual way? Across the Sichuan and Yunnan provinces, this eerie spectacle is not limited to a single mountain. Hanging coffins can be found scattered across many cliffs, some suspended 100 feet high, others as high as 400 feet. Archaeologists have so far discovered around 171 of these coffins in China, with some dating back over 3,000 years. The challenge of carrying wooden planks, carving out massive coffins, and then suspending them hundreds of feet high on limestone cliffs seems almost impossible, even with today's modern equipment. So, how could such a feat be achieved thousands of years ago? And more importantly, why did this mysterious tribe go to such lengths to lay their dead to rest? Local legends suggest these people were extraordinary, with powers that allowed them to fly. But was this truth, or just myth? Historical records indicate that over 3,000 years ago, a tribe known as the Bo people lived in this region. Very little is documented about them. What we know is that in the year 1573, the Ming Dynasty conquered China, and the imperial army wiped out the Bo tribe, erasing not only their existence, but also many of their secrets, including the practice of hanging coffins. This central part of China is a land of endless mountains and rocky cliffs, many of them so remote that no one has set foot on them to this day. Where the cliffs are closer to human settlements, coffins can still be seen, but reaching them is incredibly difficult, since the cliffs are steep and almost completely vertical. From a distance, the coffins appear to be camouflaged with the rocks, making them nearly impossible to find at random. When researchers studied some of the coffins, they discovered the oldest was at least 3,000 years old. The coffins were made from single logs, hollowed out with nothing more than axes. Since advanced tools didn't exist in that era, this incredible craftsmanship alone is evidence of the tribe's skill. To solve the mystery of how these coffins were placed, the China Exploration and Research Society launched a campaign involving archaeologists and climbers from around the world. In one such expedition in Yunnan, researchers found 6 coffins dangling high on a cliff. To reach them, expert climbers had to be lowered by ropes, since climbing directly was nearly impossible. The wooden beams supporting these coffins were so old and rotten that they could collapse at any time. Inside the coffins, researchers found something even more puzzling. Multiple human skeletons in a single coffin. Strangely, soil was also found mixed with the bones. At first, it was assumed the soil must have entered through cracks due to rain and erosion, but deeper research revealed something shocking. The Bo people first buried their dead in the ground, and only after the body decomposed would they remove the bones and place them inside these hanging coffins. To keep the bones stable while transporting them up the cliffs, they filled the coffins with soil, making them even heavier. The question remained, how could they possibly haul such massive coffins up vertical cliffs with no modern machinery? The answer may lie in the small man-made holes discovered in the cliffs near the coffins. These holes, clearly carved by hand with chisels and hammers, may have been used to insert bamboo poles, creating a ladder-like structure to climb. In 2003, the Discovery Channel recreated this process. They built a coffin using only an axe, carved holes into a cliff, inserted bamboo poles, and created steps leading upwards. A bamboo pole was used as a pulley at the top, allowing ropes to drag the coffin upward. With this simple method, 12 workers managed to lift a coffin 300 feet high in just 3 days. This experiment proved that the Bow tribe could indeed have used similar techniques thousands of years ago. Inside some coffins, archaeologists also discovered fine silk garments, proving the Bow people were skilled in silk farming and weaving. These designs closely resembled fabrics still found in parts of China today, suggesting that not all of the Bow tribe perished during the Ming Dynasty. Some may have survived, preserving fragments of their ancient traditions. But why place the coffins so high on cliffs? According to Professor Ling Chang, who spent 30 years studying these mysteries, there may be two explanations. The first is spiritual. The higher the coffin, the closer the soul would be to heaven. The second is practical. Suspending coffins on cliffs protected the dead from wild animals and human enemies. Even today, much of what we know about the Bow tribe and their hanging coffins is based only on theory. Were they protecting their dead, or trying to bring them closer to the afterlife? Were they wiped out completely, or did fragments of their culture survive? These haunting questions continue to echo through the cliffs of China. What do you think? Why would an entire tribe go through such unimaginable efforts to rest their dead hundreds of feet above the ground?